Hey everybody! Welcome to the Wednesday, February 24th edition of studentloanjustice.org live stream. My name is Alan Collins. Trying to get the openings down, got the kitty for the hook, and I'm stealing Ed's idea with the jingle there. But anyways, I'm glad that you found us. If you're new to the group, welcome. What took you so long? Lots is happening. I'm going to try and pack this in. If you have any questions or comments, throw them out. If I can see them, I will definitely respond to them. Lots going on for student loan justice, folks. Our petition is at probably 982,000 signatures. We started the conversation about canceling student loans by executive order. Very important. Change.org/cancel student loans. Nobody would be talking about this but for us. So what's going on right now, folks, that I want to talk to you about tonight is two things. Number one, we just discovered that 18 of the states in this country owe more in student loans than their entire state budgets. Florida is the worst. I think Texas is probably the second worst. But, all of that is just shocking. If that even one state owes more than its total state budget in federal student and student loan debt, that is newsworthy. We wrote an article. It's here. It might be here or there. Somewhere around here on this post. Send that article to news stations, particularly in the affected states. You can read the article. You can see all the states listed. Of those 18 states, by the way, 15 of them are red states. So, folks, this is our hook. This is our lever to get the conservatives off their asses and start fighting on our side instead of against us. This is maybe the most important article that we've ever done. But it's only going to be important when you make it important and do what I just said 2 seconds ago. It's so important, guys. This will not get off the ground unless you push it around. You've got to give a shit. These are your student loans. This is your problem. So, okay, done. Second thing, the swamp is fighting back. There's a very important distinction between canceling student loans by Congress and canceling student loans by executive order. By executive order, which is what we are calling for, Congress does not have to pass any laws. Congress doesn't have to do anything. Most importantly, Congress does not have to appropriate money. In other words, the President and Secretary of Education can cancel these loans without needing one dime from Congress, without needing to pay one penny to anyone, and without adding one penny to the national debt. This is the cheapest and easiest and the most obvious way to cancel student loans. The student loan swamp, our opposition, hates that. If they're going to cancel loans, they want to be paid. Department of Education wants to be paid $1 or more for every dollar in student loans that it cancels. So I warned everybody, I think last week, I said be very, very cautious and wary and on the lookout for people who argue for student loan cancellation by Congress and against student loan cancellation by executive order, which is what we started the conversation in this country about last March. And this is happening, folks. I just saw a piece out from MSNBC. It was an editorial. They said something like, Biden wants to cancel student loans through Congress, and that's a good thing, they said. Well, I'm telling you, folks, not only is it not a good thing, it's massively expensive for the taxpayer. It's terrible in every way, in every sense of the word. First of all, Congress is never going to raise $100 billion to $500 billion, $1 trillion more dollars in taxes or however they're going to raise it. They're not going to raise that money to cancel student loans. They might raise, I don't know, a few $billion maybe, like they did for the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. No loans are going to get canceled. Public service loan forgiveness, 99% disqualification rate. This bullshit. It's nonsense. It's never going to happen. And even if they did do that, and they passed a law and told the Department of Education to cancel loans, Department of Education would do everything possible to not cancel loans, like they do with public service loan forgiveness. So all that stuff is nonsense, folks, and the bad guys are exposing themselves, and whether you love or hate MSNBC, they are clearly and squarely the bad guys on this issue. They are against you and me and every one of the 44 million student loan borrowers out there. This is a battle, guys. This is your battle. This is your fight. And you need to be aware of what is actually going on. We've been doing this for 16 years now. We know exactly what's going on. And I am here to tell you that, yeah, you hear people saying, oh, don't cancel student loans by executive order. That's bad. Cancel it through Congress. That's the right thing to do, or some bullshit, whatever they're going to say. Pardon my French. That is exactly what the swamp is fighting for. They are fighting for the swamp. Shame on them. Shame on MSNBC. So, folks, I said I was going to keep this short. We're at 8 minutes now. The last thing I will say is, dudes, like I said at the top, send that article to news media in Florida, in Texas, any one of those red states, and tell them, say something like this: it is unacceptable that our state owes more in student loans than our entire state budget. You need to report on this fact, and you need to ask the governor for a comment on this sorry state of affairs. And you might even throw in something about our petition, change.org/cancel student loans. So do that, guys. I'm telling you, this is your battle. Nobody's going to do it until you get off your ass and do it. I'm doing everything I can. Ed's doing everything he can. Our 50 state chapter leaders, they're doing everything. On any given day, probably a few hundred people, maybe even 1,000 people, are doing what they can. But we need way more. Don't expect anybody else to do your work for you. It's not going to happen. These are your loans. This is your problem. That's the reality. Accept it or run from it. I beg you to accept it and do the simple things that you need to do to get that article out there. Be strong. We don't have to put up with this bullshit, people. And with that, I will finally only say, please donate some, folks. If you can donate, please do it. We are bumping along the bottom on our funding. We literally have about $900 in upcoming charges, including rent for our beautiful home office, utility bills, stuff like that, like stuff to keep our lights on and keep us viable as a group. So please go to studentloanjustice.org/support. Again, you can see the link here. And come on, guys, we are kicking ass right now, and I hope that is not lost on you. We are making history here as we speak. We are the pioneers. And that means that we have to fight a little above our weight. We've got to punch a little above our weight. We've got to pull a little bit more than our weight. So make it happen, guys. Starts with you. Good luck. Godspeed. And God bless everybody. And shame on MSNBC.